Welcome to Linkronicity, where your journey and destiny link. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, linkologist, and I'm here to help you link your life. How you doing, lovely souls? You hanging in there? We're still here. We're in this together. Look at how long we've been doing this already, right? It's been a while. 2020's been quite the year, and I hope you're all staying healthy and safe and in balance during this challenging time. Today's video, called upon the collective, and all of you humans who actually hit my inbox, called upon the collective to deal with what is the common thread of restlessness. So today we're going to be talking about your restlessness link. Restlessness, that's hard to say. Restlessness link. We're going to be addressing it because it means different things to different people based on where you are on your journey. And remember, everybody is a work in progress. Everybody's actually on a different timeline, because as we were all, if you remember last year's year of ascension, as we were all being asked to rise to the next level, everybody was already at a next level. They were just being asked to rise to the next level for them on their timeline. So it seems a little funky right now because we're dealing with this in quarantine, and we're dealing with this in a pandemic of rising to the next level. But dealing with restlessness takes on a different context in your new normal, in a life with quarantine, and it feels funky because you're relating to it in a different context. So let me explain. I want to do this video to really dive in a little deeper and explain this to you guys so you don't feel stuck. Because that's what I got a few emails about that, and I got a few spiritual, ethereal things, people coming to me in my meditation and all that, telling me they're stuck. You're not stuck. So let's just clear that out of the way right now. You're not stuck. Complacent? Not the same thing as stuck, but complacent? Perhaps. And that might be what is causing your restlessness, depending on where you're applying that in your life. So for a lot of the restless humans who are feeling the cabin fever of quarantine, you're feeling restlessness in a completely different context as to those who are dealing with the job and income issues of their career or their business and their livelihood. They're dealing with it on a completely different level, as are people who are dealing with what we addressed in this last healing timeout, vulnerability as it relates to mortality, restlessness, completely different context. A lot of different contexts here as to what restlessness and complacency is, as we humans who like to do, right? Go, go, go. Do, do, do. Go, go, go. Constantly on the move. You're feeling the restlessness because you're being asked to sit still. When we're in quarantine, we have to be still. We are in isolation. We are contained. And part of the restlessness you may be feeling might be because you're actually feeling contained, which is then making you feel complacent, which is then making you feel restless, which for some of you, you think it's boredom. It's not really boredom. It's boredom as in the complacency of this life that is not changing. Everything externally in your world is changing. So much is making your head spin. But your own world feels like it's at a standstill because the external world's changing so rapidly. Yeah, that's the reality. So I want to explain this so that you have more clarity in your understanding. Because when we have clarity, what do we have? We have truth. When we have truth, what do we have? A place to work from. A place to work from. So that'll get you unstuck very quickly, because you realize your truth, that's all there is the truth. And for those of you who have forgotten, because you're living in this life now, on this new timeline, you may have forgotten that the old tools and the old methods that we went through in these other 140 videos still apply. It may be a new world and a new normal, but your old tools still work, just in a different way. But the one thing that doesn't change is what's in here and what's in here and how you used to link them here and deal with it as your human and soul came into union here, in your truth here. And another one of the issues is the fact that your truth may be clouded because your application was trying to make that happen in the old world, not the new way of being. So you could be feeling restlessness in that complacency, stuckness, perceived stuckness in that context, because you're not understanding how to build the bridge. So today what we're going to do is we're going to be addressing restlessness as it relates to translating that bridge from your old life to your new normal, and working with those tools to work through your emotions so you can find your solutions to whatever that is for you in your life. And for all of you different age groups, it's going to mean something completely different. So for those of you who are students, kind of like we were discussing in the career video, for those of you who are students, you're trying to navigate your future and your studies in your course of directing your passions and your purpose in your old course of studies, which may not be applicable. And for the early professionals and midlife professionals, you're going through a different transitional change, and the retired people are going through a different reality, okay? Transitional change. And as everyone's still facing that vulnerability, which I talked about in the chakra video about the vulnerability with mortality, because we're being fed constant information on a daily basis with numbers that keep rising and rising and rising, with COVID cases and with deaths and all of these things, and things changing on a dime. Places that were reopening now suddenly back on lockdown again. And you're trying to navigate all of this, and you're feeling restless because it's like, just when I had a plan. Now it's got to, you're retrieving, back that recoiling, now having to go back into contemplation mode. And that contemplation mode can make you feel stuck, because we know your human wants to keep doing, wants to keep going. And it's hard to try to apply that to something when you don't see the road. And that's why this restlessness is taking on a completely different context in the new reality of what we're living in, as opposed to how we used to deal with it in our old application when there were no barriers. There was nothing preventing you, just you preventing you. Well, guess what? What's reality? Still you, just you, is stopping you. Yes, we have barriers and parameters and rules and laws and things like that, regulations that are being put into place. But that doesn't mean that your heart has to stop dreaming. It doesn't mean that your brain needs to stop creating or thinking. All it means is that you have to be a little more inventive with how you're going to create the solution, but you don't have to find the solution externally. You don't. Because the answer to your restlessness link, as it applies to the list of things that you want to do, as it applies to your execution of how you want to take that next step, it's all right within you. And I know you hate that. You're like, oh God, Stacey, why'd you have to say that? I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that all the solutions are within me, but they are. They're in you. Why? Why do I say that? Because it's your truth, and it's your life, and it's your journey. I'm not in your head, and I'm not in your heart to see what it is that you're struggling with. Only you know where you're not linking this. Only you know where your human and soul are not uniting on that front. Only you know what conditions you're placing on your restlessness to get out of complacency, to get unstuck, to recreating and redirecting your emotional, mental, psychological, spiritual, soulful intention in how to make it happen. I know that's a lot, right? That's like a lot of stuff that I just spewed. But that's why you're feeling like you're in this loop of why you can't utilize the restlessness to your advantage now, but you can't. So what are we going to do today? Today we're going to be dealing with the 3-column exercise. The 3-column exercise and dealing with our restlessness link. So what are we going to do in column 1? Column 1, we're going to deal with our restlessness link as it relates to the emotions that it's triggering. Why are we doing this? You're like, Stacey, why? I don't want to do this. Why don't I want to do this? Well, if you're going to keep whining about being restless or bored or whatever it is or stuck, you're going to have to figure out the emotion that it's attached to. You can't solve it if you don't know it, right? It's hard to find a solution to looking for the solution if you don't know what it is that's triggering it. So we're going to link the emotions. So when you feel restless or bored or complacent or stuck, what emotions come up for you? Is it fear? Is it lack of courage? Lack of trust? Are you holding yourself accountable and feeling the burden of that? Have you not forgiven yourself for struggling with that? Are you lacking patience? What things are coming up for you? Write all those things down. I just gave you a few examples, but write all those things down in column 1. When you purge them from yourself, you're going to feel better looking at it because it's like, that's what it is. Yeah. Because it's not just a simple thing like I'm feeling restless or bored or stuck. That's what it's attached to. All those emotions that you just wrote down in column 1, that's what it is linked to. That's what it's linked to. Column 2. We're going to create a bridge. We're going to create a restlessness bridge into proactivity. Proactive mode. Yeah. Initiative. Drive. Action. We're going to create a bridge from this column here to whatever's coming up for you to this column here. How do we take these emotions or whatever you wrote down that you're feeling? How do we take these emotions to this proactive bridge of action? So let's say whatever it is that you were feeling stuck about. So for the student, you're thinking about, oh my God, do I need to switch my major? I don't know if I want to switch my major. Do I need to minor something else? Do I need to apply do I need to look into a different industry? Is this job going to actually this? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're thinking all that stuff, right? So as a student, you're going to be attaching the emotion to this bridge of resolve. You need to resolve what? You need to resolve your major. You need to resolve your minor. You need to resolve your industry. You need to resolve here. For the early professionals, midlife professionals, and retirees, you're going to have something completely different. It may deal more personally with your friendships and your relationships. It may be dealing with your career or your job or your personal goals of your vacations and your bucket list items. And that's going to be a completely different thing. Your heart's desires, things you want to achieve, your legacy, whatever that means for you. That's going to be column 2 for you. So you're going to attach these, you're going to do it the same way though. You're going to attach the emotions to whatever this list is that you feel stuck about, that you can't do because of can't go outside, can't do this, can't go here, can't gather, la 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 la. Okay. You're going to attach your emotions to each one of these things of action, creating this list so you can see the action as it relates to the emotion. So let's just say if you're lacking courage to take action on something that you haven't figured out yet, let's address that. Let's address that. Like, I'm afraid I can't have this family reunion because of vulnerability, sickness, death, whatever, okay? Or it won't happen, okay? We're going to be looking at this list completely differently of the things that you can proactively do in your alternative solution phase. Same thing for the students. Your alternative solution. What are you going to do in the interim? Proactive mode in the interim. What can you do? We're going to go from a place of feeling stuck, restless, complacent, I can't, stuck, to what can I do now? With what I have, with who I am, with where I am. What can I do? What can I do in the interim? It's not the perfect picture. Of course not. Because you had this list of things that you wanted to accomplish, do, whatever, be pre-pandemic. But, you know, we have some restrictions, right? Restrictions doesn't mean you kill this list. Restrictions just means you find an alternative solution as it attaches to your emotions on what you can do right now with what you have, with where you are, with how you can create that interim place, the bridge. Column 3. What we're going to do now in column 3 is we're going to have an out-of-body experience. I know, wow. The out-of-body experience is really you literally getting out of your body and saying, if your friend or relative, loved one, came to you, heck, even a stranger, came to you with column 1 and column 2 and asked you the questions about your truth, your human and your soul purpose, and your clarity. Ask yourself these questions as if you were asking someone else these questions. So, what's in your heart about this thing that you want to achieve? Is it a priority? How important is it to you? Is this something that you need to do before you leave Earth? What is it? How meaningful is it to you right now? What can you do? Okay, like all these questions. Ask about your truth. Ask about your clarity. Prioritization. Okay. Alternative course of action. Ask yourself all these questions in column 3. And as many questions as you can think of asking as if somebody were asking this of you to help you figure out column 1 and column 2. Why am I having you do this? Because if I ask you the questions, you won't come up with answers. If you come up with questions, your questions actually reveal to you your answers. I'm teaching you how to fish instead of throwing you one. I'm teaching you how to fish instead of throwing you a fish. What questions would you ask yourself if somebody gave you your list of column 1 and column 2 and to ask you questions to take it from this place into reality, into actualization, into manifestation, into realization? What questions would you ask? Because what answers would you seek as to the remedy? As to the remedy. Whatever questions you ask and whatever answers you provide are going to give you a really clear-cut picture of your truth. Your truth. If I were to ask you these questions, it would really be coming from the perspective of me perceiving that I needed to ask you specific questions and to trigger certain answers. But you already have the answers within. You already have the answers within. You already have the answers within. Mind and heart in union. Human and soul in union. Your truth, divine truth in union. You already have those answers. So now, as you look at column 3, questions and answers that you asked yourself, you'll now be able to see the interim solution of column 2 and how once things open up again, once there's a vaccine, once there's all these other things lifted, how to take that bridge of column 2 into column 3 zone. Because there's nothing really stopping you other than the restrictions, right? But that doesn't mean you can't come up with something here. You already just proved that to yourself. You came up with something in column 2. And because you know the emotion that's attached to it in column 1, you know of what your own personal barriers are emotionally and mentally, which is stopping you physically from coming up with column 2, column 3. When you address the emotions, you get back, take now this list of emotions from column 1, go back to the 140 videos that I have here, whether it's forgiving yourself for hanging on to it too long, for staying stuck too long, whether it's dealing with your lack of impatience, whether it's dealing with your fear of the unknown, or fear in general, or sitting in the void, or your procrastination, holding yourself accountable. I've got a video for all of this. All of it. It's all here already. That was divinely guided. So, I mean, it wasn't my genius mind. It was like Spirit channeling through me every single time, which is why we have all these videos available to us now, because this was predicted. It was predestined. It was predestined. And these tools were already known that they were going to be needed. You've already walked through them. If you've been with me this long, if you've been with me for these past 4 years, you've done some of these exercises already. For newcomers that have come along, you've got your binge watch list all set out for a while to go through it. But the tools are here, so you don't need to go searching. They're all right here. Now you just need to link them into this resolve, so you can now dissolve the idea of feeling restless, stuck, and complacent. See how it all links together? Isn't that beautiful? That's like a masterpiece orchestration kind of thing. That's like, whoa, how did that happen? It happened. But it's all right here. So you should feel relief for not feeling stuck, complacent, or restless. It's all right here. You've got the solutions within. We just proved it. So, hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on social media or go to my website. We can work this out, and yes, we can even take this to the next level, believe it or not, on patreon.com/Linkronicity, where I've got Club 3333, Club 5555, monthly subscription, beautiful workshops, classroom at your own pace, at any hour of the day, anytime, no ticket, just a subscription, access it at your own pace whenever you want to take this to the next level. Because we're in a new normal now, we're in a new terrain, we have risen to the next level, we have gone into our level of ascension, we've come into a newer realization, we have done our inner healing, now we're trying to apply it to our brand new external reality. And you can do this, people. You've got all the tools right here. And I came here to help, so I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, your Linkologist, here to help you link your life. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Linkronicity, Blogspot.com, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, and of course, patreon.com/Linkronicity. I'm here to help you. I also have coaching sessions available at Linkronicity.com. If you need a private coaching session, be sure to book with me, and we can help you continue to work through this and realize and actualize everything you still have in your mind and heart, just in your new terrain. Be gentle with yourself, lovely souls. Be gentle with each other. Be patient. Understand your life's mission, purpose, and journey. You're here in the now, and hopefully you have gratitude for being here now. I have gratitude here for being with you. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to help and help you navigate this place in this new terrain. And I hope you realize you have everything you need within. Have a lovely day. I send you light and love. Peace and blessings. Namaste.